right, okay, guys. Can you hear me? Okay, good. So my name is François Ruf. I'm the co-founder of NetBreeze, now Microsoft Social Listening. And currently within Microsoft, I'm responsible for the two products, Microsoft Social Listening and Dynamics Marketing. And you know, it has been a really crazy year for the whole group, and it's so nice to see now how all the people are demoing the products out there on the Dynamics side, marketing, or on the social side. So it's really a pleasure for us and for all of the guys who worked so long on this one. And I think we have an amazing story together, as you have seen in the general session today from Fred Studer. Now, on the social track here at Convergence, we have several sessions. So this one is more focused on social strategies, social opportunities. And I'm going to do a short demo of the Microsoft Social Listening. While tomorrow there will be a session which goes deep on the full social stack of Microsoft, including collaboration of Yammer, Inside View, Microsoft Social Listening, the integration into CRM, social care of Parature, or social campaigns within Dynamics Marketing. So it's really a broad spectrum that we have already, and I think we have a great story together for the overall social track. And then we will have also interactive discussions, so if you have more Q&As, please join them. And also on Thursday, we will have a deep dive session. Maybe Stefan, you can quickly stand up. And so he's the guy, the brain behind the Microsoft Social Listening product, came up with the amazing UI that we have. So please join these sessions if you want to know more. So, okay, so let's kick this off. So, all right, here we go. What really changed over the last years is the amount of data that is available and the amount of connections that are out there. But this is like, you know, if you use Twitter today, you have pretty much and pretty quickly a problem that there's so much information coming in. How are you going to process this? So it's all on the cloud. It's easy, but there is one element missing, which is joining now, and we can see it, is the whole artificial intelligence part. And all these 4 mega trends are coming together. So you see cars that are driving alone, right? And for the whole marketing, social, and sales process, this will end up in massively personalized interactions at scale. So I'm going to talk more about what I mean with this one. But I think the first time in history, with the technology that are out there and available, you can actually really context-specific have a communication with customers, with prospects, with any kind of stakeholders in your business. And this, if you turn on this, that's a huge value. And I can give you some examples that we have already implemented. So this is, you know, we have heard this, the age of the customer. At the end of the day, this just gives more power to the end consumer. And I mean, for me, if I look at these numbers, the most important one, actually Fred showed a little bit different numbers. 57%, you know, goes completely under your radar of your business. And what is actually happening in this 57% before you even see the customer on your website or wherever, right? And this is mainly all these interactions, they happen somewhere on Facebook, on Twitter, on the social media, in these conversations, right? And actually, you know, it should be everyone's job to understand what's happening there, because these are the most important touch points, right? Because this is like the future where you get recommendations and all that stuff, the sharing economy. If you're not in there as a customer, longer or sooner, you will have a problem in the business. So you need to understand these touch points, and you need to play this game. And so this is, for me, it basically comes down for the business for this case. And maybe just as a basic, right? So every time when we go and say, okay, let's set up a social strategy for a company, first, I think we have to have a clear understanding of the social space, and this is all about trust, right? So you cannot go out there and spam the people, it's going to hit back pretty quickly to you, because people trust people and not companies. So you have to play this people game, and then you have the transparency and the easy access to information. If this all comes down, it's pretty a viral story. So you have to be careful when you start actually going out there with messaging, because, for example, it has to be aligned with your brand. Otherwise, this is coming back pretty quickly to you. But this is, at the end of the day, this has changed pretty much the way we make decisions, the way we are doing buying decisions. And now your social strategy should actually take care of this one. What does trust, what transparency and access mean really for your business? And so these are the basics now, but I want to talk about really the social opportunities. And if we go down the line with marketing, sales, and service, right? So we heard already today some of the opportunities, but if we look a little bit more strategic about it, then mostly today people are really focused on social on the marketing side or on the service side. The sales side is a little bit more tricky, but I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to show you some examples how you can actually leverage also social for the sales side. So on the marketing side, we have clearly the whole brand reputation. I think this is a case that a lot of companies are already doing this. It's pretty much aligned with the social listening and analytics case. And then we have the whole engagement piece. We have the campaign monitoring and the optimization piece. But so my favorite is really the influencer story. And not a lot of people are doing this, but this is actually a really nice story, because you can imagine if you would have a map of all connections of the social space out there around your product, right? It's just a huge graph. And then you want to find out where are the centers of gravity. I'm a theoretical physicist, sorry. The center of gravity in this network, who has a lot of connections, because these hotspots actually are the most important ones you should care about. So, and to find out who these influencers are is today pretty easy. I'm going to show you that also. And then actually, what are you going to do with them, right? You have to nurture them. And if you look at this comes down to the new motto of CRM, right? So engage, nurture, and match. So really take a close look at the influencer story. And then on the sales side, we have seen Yammer, for example, integrated into CRM, so you can actually collaborate through the entire company. Then we have enriched insights, which is pretty much an inside view, for example, that we have right now in the CRM space. And then the intercept buying signals, right? So this is, for me, here is one of the most interesting cases. So you really want to take advantage of all the information out there, bring it together to your sales opportunities, generate leads, and do this in a completely automated fashion. And this comes pretty down to this massively personalized interactions at scale. And then on the service side, social customer care, I think that's today pretty standard, right? So you want to just complain on Twitter, on Facebook, and you expect answers pretty soon from the company. So that's, I think a lot of companies already have understood this. And then the early warning, which is not a lot of companies do this. They do it more on the brand side. But actually, the early warning piece is quite interesting if you link it, for example, to your product department, to your business development department, because there are a lot of signals out there that you can actually directly take and act upon it. And then the whole space about measurement of customer satisfaction and also knowledge management. And this is, we have seen, who has seen already a demo of Parature? All right, a few of them. So you know a bit about these cases, right? About knowledge management, self-service portal. All that comes pretty much, the main story here, not the early warning system, comes together with Parature. All right, so if we go then and make the charter for a specific industry, right? So for example, we go for the financial industry, and then we have stories a little bit differently grouped, and this is not just about sales, marketing, and service, because this is more than the CRM topic. This is really take it a little bit broader and take social for the whole company, and then you have the big, two big spots. One is the customer experience. So you want to deliver the best customer experience, and this is with engagement, you do social listening, you want to understand your customer, all that kind of stuff. And then you have the whole marketing, social marketing piece, lead generation. And then really also a big one, which is coming for the financial industry, is social, is all these peer-to-peer, long-tail landing models that are coming, right? So this is really specific now for financial industry, but it also belongs to the social topic. And then you can also go down to risk management, HR, analytics, big data is a big one that is coming, because mostly if you have social data, social KPIs like a buzz curve, share of voice, you know, if you just have this one, it's a little bit hanging in the air. So you have actually, you should mash it up with your hard data about how good are you doing with selling the stuff, maybe have more brand information, and then mash it up and see how actually is the social data correlated with the hard financial data that you have to find out what these curves really mean, right? So this is a big topic, and then, of course, the whole social enterprise with the collaboration space. All right, so this, I want to give you a quick example on what lead generation, for example, so massively personalized interactions could mean, how you can take advantage. This is one project that we have done for Ernst & Young in Germany. So this is about the transaction advisory services. So they're selling M&A, they're supporting M&A deals. And what we have done is we're going to push them deal alerts with rumors that we have found out there in the net. And how we're going to do this is, first, you know, we're listening to all M&A related data out there, just collecting all the information. Then the next step is we're processing this data. We're going to find out who is the target, who is the buyer, what is the deal volume, all that. And then we're going to look it up in an existing M&A database to see whether this M&A event or rumor is already there. If not, it's probably a rumor. And then we're going to identify the salesperson through the CRM system, because in the CRM system you'll find who is actually responsible for this account mentioned in this M&A rumor. And then we have everything together to actually deliver the deal alert. And what's happened is the partner of Ernst & Young, you know, they used to go out and visit their customers and all that stuff. Now they have actually a proactive system that is just going through social media stuff, analyzing it, mashing up with the CRM data, and just deliver a reason to call the customer. Because they can go and say, hey, I heard a rumor about you want to buy this company. Can I help you? Easy as that, right? So you can actually start translating these kind of cases. And this goes on top of a social media listening system. So how many of you are partners? All right, so this is just a huge opportunity for partners, right? Because these social listening tools, they deliver an API, and upon this API, you can actually implement these kind of stories for your customers, and these are really high-value stories, because if they just have 2, 3, 4 more deals per year through these alerts, that's going to pay off pretty quickly. All right. So next topic, I want to talk about how to start a social strategy. So I condensed that to 7 steps, how to do this. So the first is all about your opportunities, right? So we have framed the opportunities like influencer detection and all that stuff. So, but really you need to understand these touch points with your customers. So don't do anything before you not know exactly how people are interacting today with your brand, with your company. And to find out this, it's pretty easy because you can start with social listening. And that's what you get with the new release of Microsoft Social Listening. It will be included into the professional online license if you have more than 10 seats. So this we're going to roll out. And for on-prem, you have to pay a certain amount, but a reduced price. So start with listening to see what all these conversations are. And I think you can go down and listen what the sentiment is, how well you're doing. And at the end of the day, where do people talk? Where are my guys? Are they on Twitter? Or is this a Facebook discussion? Are they on boards or blogs? So where is the conversation? And what do people actually say? So what is the topic of the discussion? Who are the influencers? And why not just get a list of the 100 top influencers in my space and then offline call them, right? And ask them what is really important for them so you can build your strategy upon it. And I just want to quickly show you this live. So all right, here we go. Hopefully I'm still logged in. All right, so this is the main entry point. What you see here is the Microsoft Social Listening tool. We have set up several search items. So we have Convergence, Microsoft, our CEO, Yammer, Parature. If I look at this, we have it structured into accounts, contacts, campaigns. And so I want to actually have a real-life example, which is I'm looking at the data of today, and this is the convergence, right? So we're tracking the right hashtags, we're tracking just the word convergence, and let's see how this looks like, right? So in the overview, this is exactly the 6,232 messages that were produced today. And we're doing pretty good, right? So there is not like a bad keynote or something that produced a lot of negative tension. And down here you can see really how this is distributed, and you see pretty, right? This is the keynote, and this is the general session. But actually, I want to also, I'm interested in CRM, so I can pretty quickly just say, okay, let's just look at convergence and CRM. Now what the system is, all right, okay, so I have to log in again. Quickly do this. All right, here we are again. So we had the convergence today. All right, this goes fast, right? already more posts, and go to keywords. Now, what we are doing is now, behind the scene, we have all the documents of convergence, and say, we now want to have convergence combined with CRM to look at this discussion here. And then this gives us this curve here. So, compared to the peaks, we have also a lot on the general session. And then we can just go down. And we try to make it really easy. So, for example, you want to know the source distribution. You can go down. This is pretty much, this is heavy on Twitter, of course. But really, I'm interested in the authors, right? And so this gives me over all that, gives me who is actually tweeting or posting a lot of information out there. And this is just by the number of posts out there. But I want to actually know who is really important. So I'm going to add another filter here and say, okay, this is reach, right? So this measures how important somebody is. And I want to have just 4 and 5. And what I get out then is actually who has a high ranking out there because, he has a lot of followers, for example. He has a lot of connections. And he's tweeting a lot. And this gives me quickly a list. When you say, okay, these are important for conversions here. And they do a lot for my brand. Now, if this is positive, let's have a look, for example, at this person here. I go down and have now really a detailed profile of this author. And all right, we have also a negative statement here. So we want to know why we have a negative and then drill down to the post, look at it, and maybe directly engage with her to find out, is there a problem? All right. Good. Okay, let's go back. That's just a quick intro into the whole listening. It's just to tell you how easy it is. You can quickly find out where, what, who, why, how, by just entering your product, your brand, and then start working on it. And then you'll find out what actually the touch points are out there. Second step, you can do the same with your competitors, right? Why not just listen to your competitors and see how actually they implemented their social strategy? How do they answer the question? You can easily do that. Just type in your competitors and maybe just copy the strategy, what they already have done in their industry if it's good, instead of just reinventing the wheel. So next one, the business case. This is the most important, but also the most complicated one. Why? Because a lot of companies, they want to sell you the social KPIs, but not really aligned with your main KPIs of the business. And then you have already a problem, because then you can actually not justify why you really should do this, how you want to measure success. It's not the number of followers. This is not a success, right? At the end of the day, you want to sell more. You want to have a better brand. These are measures that really count. So how do you come to this point? So this is all about, you have to think through end-to-end scenarios. You have to integrate the social processes into your business processes. And you can actually have data mining analytics on it, to mesh it up with other data. So what does this mean, right? So here's an example. We start with dynamics marketing, and we see we're working on that, actually. It's coming in H2, that you have also the social information, all that you see in the listening tool. You have it right in the dynamics marketing tool for the brand managers. And suddenly you see a spike, right? Or you see an influencer with a negative post, right? And he says, well, look, maybe there's a security update, right, that's missing or something like this. What you can do is then just clicking on it, and you get redirected to the social listening tool, find out what really the problem is, and then you go to Yammer to discuss this with your colleagues, find a solution to it, and then actually go back through Microsoft Dynamics CRM because there all your customers stored there, right? And this is connected to the Microsoft Dynamics marketing system to actually launch a campaign pretty quickly, say, well, look, for all my customers, here's the way you're going to fix this problem. I see this is a problem because a lot of other people I've seen out there have the same problem. And then you see within Dynamics Marketing how many people really opened the stuff, how really people follow up on the stuff, how people did this. You can do this. Now, this is a reputational issue, but you can do this with also on the lead generation side, right? And then you get hard numbers. What was actually the trigger from social, you know, and what was the impact then on my customers? Next one, influencers and brand advocates, right? So it's nice to know them, but it's actually much nicer to do something with them, right? So we have seen before, you know, how easy it is to get out the influencers of the system. Now, okay, that's good. Now, what we are working on is actually that you can take this. This is a dynamic list, right? There are new influencers coming, they're going. You can take this dynamic list and put it into Dynamics Marketing as a source for a social campaign, you know? And then you can actually say, well, each new influencer or brand advocate, for example, I'm going to send him a promo code for a new product, or I'm going to give him more space or whatever, you know, regarding your product. Just in a completely automated fashion. Then what happens is you can measure pretty easily whether this is, because these are the influencers, right? They should actually then talk about it. If they like it, you can easily measure this influence. And if you do this, then they generate new recommendations. These new recommendations, maybe these produce more influencers. Another influencer is coming, he gets it again. So, and this just runs forever, ever, right? And you put in just the perks into the process, and you know, and let it go. And then on the other side, you know, you can actually just see how on the landing page through Dynamics Marketing, you know, how many leads you generated from social. And then you say, okay, how much is this going to cost for me on the one hand, and how many leads did I generate, or how many sales at the end of the day? And this is what you want, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to say, hey, here is a hard number on I generated that many leads. All right, so this is on the business case scenario. You really have to think it through end to end, and it has to be integrated into your business process. Otherwise, you have no chance to come to a line strategy. Another one is, I have to say this, it's a complex vendor landscape, and I'm sure you have to adapt this example to your industry, and maybe you have to integrate other systems to make it work. But we're in a cloud area with APIs, so this shouldn't be a big problem. Because I don't think there is one vendor out there who just can do everything, right? It's really depending on your special case. And then build the roadmap. So we have talked to the complete end-to-end scenarios. And another one is also, you know, the knowledge of your company around all these changes. You know, I don't know, for example, this marketing example with the influencers. You know, I don't know how fit your people are to actually implement that process on the customer side, right, when they run it, or on the partner side. Have you skills ready to implement these kind of stories? So really, there's a lot of education and training needed. I talked to a lot of partners, and there's still a lack of, pretty big lack of knowledge about all these new capabilities, and really get it integrated, right? Don't stop just selling a solution, right? So you actually, as a partner, have a huge chance, right, to adapt that stuff and integrate it deeply into the real business processes. And then get executive sponsorship approval. You have your opportunities for your business. You know your competitors, how they're doing things. You have the business case together. You know your organization, what is needed, what is the gap. and you have the roadmap. Start simple, but have full roadmap to show that actually you can actually achieve a completely different scenario than just telling we have 10% of all tweets are positive, right? Don't stop there. All right, and then if we look at all the project that we have done, and that's actually, of course, what we also address with Microsoft Social Listening, with social care, with social campaigning. We want to democratize it, bring it to everybody. So today you have mostly social in a silo, and then you see, you have some social media marketing, social media managers who are just handling the whole social space, right? Don't do this. Try to bring the social information into all the different processes, democratize it so everybody can actually benefit from it. And also, if you look at the landscape out there of vendors, it's extremely expensive to do this. Maybe you need like, 1,000 user licenses. So this is normally for a social media listening tool. It's not affordable, but we're going to change this. And then the last is just the most important one, right? We talked about, if not integrated, you're going to stop just somewhere, and then you're in a silo and don't bring out the real value of social. And then you have no chance actually to align your social strategy with your core business strategy, because you cannot align the main KPIs that you have. All right. Now I want to give you on the roadmap side what we're doing. So I talked about this, the pillars of our strategy. The integration piece, we said we want to democratize it, we want to integrate it. So this is a live a screenshot of the live system. This shows actually Dynamics CRM with the social, all the social stuff integrated. So you actually don't even have to go to Microsoft Social Listening. You have the full capabilities within the Dynamics CRM. You can put it into a dashboard. You can attach it to any kind of record. And then if you go down and click on it, then you have this seamless experience, and you end up in Microsoft Social Listening to do a deep dive to find out what's really going on. But you have this first stage. You already have it within Dynamics CRM, and this is coming with Leo, or here you see an example how you can embed it, the social intelligence into a record. Now, if we look at the social stack, and this is my next session, I'm going to go deep on all these areas. So we talked about these different possibilities. You have Yammer as a standalone tool out there, and you have CRM. Now, the first thing what the team has done is integrate Yammer into CRM so you can actually collaborate on leads, on opportunities. Now, the next one, you see this in the keynote. So this really belongs to the sales funnel. This is for retail, right? This is not for extremely customized interaction. This is really for the mass market. So this is social selling piece with the Insight view integrated into CRM. Then we have seen on the service side, we have a whole social care scenario. You can go with Parature to do this. Then we have the Microsoft Social Listening that you have seen, and this is coming in Q2, very early Q2. The analytics piece and also the engagement piece is coming in H2. We're also going to add more functionality around, for example, geolocation, so you have a nice map, you see where all the posts are. And then with Leo, you will have what I've shown before. So it's all integrated seamlessly into Dynamics CRM. This is more a marketing story, right? It's more around brands, competitors. And then we have the whole social campaign area. So please also join the Dynamics marketing sessions. You have seen this in the general session, right, with nice campaign designer. And there you can actually hook up all the social campaigns. And then one of the most important stories, which is also coming in H2, is actually that you can create cases, leads, opportunities directly in an automated fashion from the Microsoft Social Listening into CRM, right? So that you make, if something is not good, then you can actually make it actionable and have then the full process functionality of CRM available to process this social activity out there. Right. And then the last story is also in H2, we're going to enable an API. So this API is already available. So for certain partners, you can work with us and go through these scenarios that we have spoken about. But then we're going to open up it for everybody and integrate it also with Power BI. And you have seen Dynamics Marketing delivers Power BI. You have CRM that enables Power BI and social. And now you just need, I don't know, Bill, do you know whether AX has Power BI enabled? They have. All right, okay. So then you have the full suite, and you can actually bring the data together. And and then you can really start analyzing how these different trends correlate with each other. And at the end of the day, maybe you don't want a predictive analytics on it and actually predict with social data how your sales is doing in 1 month, right? Maybe it's possible for your business. I don't know. You have to look at the numbers. All right. So that's it for the social strategy session. The next session, as I said, I'm going to go deep on the roadmap and show you the different pieces, how this is all coming together. But this was really to give you an overview, how our view is about the social, what we're working on. And yeah, just I welcome everybody to contact me or discuss with my team your cases you want to work on. And especially for partners, I see it's just a huge opportunity to, upon this stack, right, do the real good stuff with the customers. All right. Thanks a lot. Thank you.